Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's Instagram live session with Independent College. Independent College is a private college offering undergraduate and postgraduate degrees with a focus on professional education. My name is Sandra, and I'm excited to be your host for today's conversation. Of course, I will be co joined by my colleague and our guest from Independent College. So please, this is a very good time to send the link to your friends and your family members who are looking at kicking off their studies in Ireland by January or February of 2025. So today, like I earlier said, we'll be joined by Independent College, and we're going to be discussing a couple of programs that are open for January 2025 admissions. So my guest will join us very shortly, and my colleague as well will be joining us from the East Africa platform. Now, if you're still wondering, if independent college is a great choice, I'll give you two top reasons why you should consider independent college as your study destination in Ireland. So number one, the school is known. Okay, let me just accept this request to join. College's programs are all accredited by the Quality and Qualifications Ireland. So this means that all the degrees have met the Irish and European standards.
Hi, Sandra.
Welcome, Tochi. So good to have you here. Um, we're waiting for Owen to join us. Owen, if you can hear me, please wave to us, and let's just be sure that you are on the live already. I have sent you an invite, and I hope that you can join us as soon as possible. Okay. So we're looking at top facts that makes independent college an ideal choice to further your studies in Ireland. The school has got a law school excellence. So Independent College's law school is one of the most prestigious in the country, and it offers prep courses for the King's Inns entrance exams and the Law Society of Ireland. The campus is located in the heart of Dublin city centre, and this provides students with access to the city's vibrant cultural and business environment. Okay, yeah, so he will be joining us shortly. All right. Right. So Independent College has got, a vibrant student community. Hi, Owen. It's so
Hello,
good to have you
how are
here.
you, Sandra?
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. And we're so happy to have you. I was just telling everyone how vibrant the student community is, at Independent College, and why it's an excellent choice to further their studies, especially in law and business. But now that we have you here, I'm going to let you, I'm going to pass the baton to you, and you're going to do justice to telling us how awesome independent college is, especially for international students that are considering beginning their studies there. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah,
And
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me okay?
yes, and I hope you can also see us. Earlier we couldn't see
Yeah,
ourselves, but I think now we're
yeah.
good.
No, I can hear and see you. You're looking well
All right.
and sounding well today.
All right. Great. So thank you so much for joining, everyone. We have the full house here. We have Owen here from Independent College, and of course we have Tochi, my colleague, who is always supporting us on these sessions. So so Owen, let us meet you. What do you do for Independent College? What has it been like for you? I mean, your job role there.
Oh, thank you, Sandra. Thank you for facilitating the session today as well. And my name is Owen, and I am the Commercial and Marketing Manager here at Independent College. So my role is to promote the college and to share information about the college with students from around the world who are looking for higher education options and looking for a pathway for accredited education at a higher level And my role, I suppose, is to connect good students from around the world with our college and our courses here in Dublin, in Ireland.
All right. Thank you so much for that brief introduction. Yeah. So, can you give us a brief overview of Independent College and what makes it unique for students considering their higher education?
Yeah, certainly, I'd be happy to, Sandra. Independent College, I suppose, first and foremost, we're located in Dublin, in Ireland, in the capital of Ireland. And if you drop a pin into the centre of Dublin, which is the capital of Ireland, we're located about 5 minutes right from the heart of the city. Okay, so we're in a great location in the middle of the city, very accessible, and we provide. I suppose there's three things, three messages I want you and your prospective students to remember from today. We provide globally accredited education. Okay, so when your students come and graduate from independent college, the program and accreditation is recognized around the world. Um, because you're coming to study in independent college based in the centre of Dublin, in Ireland, where we're fortunate to have a booming economy, there are excellent post-graduation employment opportunities, post-graduation from independent college. And also, I suppose by virtue of our size and our scale, etc., we offer really competitive tuition fees. Okay, so in terms of extremely good value for money, high quality higher education, globally accredited by the government of Ireland through QQI process, Quality and Qualifications Ireland, and easily accessible. Okay.
Yeah.
And our programs, we specialize in business degrees, largely undergraduate programs, which I'll be happy to tell you about. And we also have a very special master's program, a unique and innovative program.
Yeah.
So we have many positives, I guess, and I'd be glad to share more information as we chat.
Absolutely. We're going to pick them one step at a time. We're going to take them one step at a time. Thank you for that brief introduction of Independent College. So yeah, talking about the programs, let us have an overview of, can we just highlight some of the programs that are open for admission by February 2025? What programs are these?
Excellent, yeah. And I suppose that is one of the features of independent college as well as the other higher education partners you're sharing in this series. We offer enrollment in February 2025. Okay, February 17th actually will be the start of the semester in 2025, which isn't that far away all of a sudden. And we have a very tight and focused offering, specializing in business degree programs mostly. We have 4 Bachelor of Arts honours degrees. Okay, 3 of those programs, Sandra, are in core business subjects. Bachelor of Arts honours degree in business studies, in accounting and finance, and marketing. Okay, we also have a very special 1-year international business degree, an honours degree. And this is for students who already have studied business, we say to a level 7 in their home country. And they can come to us and do a 1-year, what's called a top-up degree program. And they graduate with an honours degree in international business. Okay, so we have 4 bachelor's honours degree programs. And then we have one very special postgraduate program, which is also called a level 9. And this is a Master of Arts in Dispute Resolution. Okay, and all of these programs are open and enrolling now for February 2025.
Awesome. So let us go, specifically to these programs that you've highlighted. So we have the bachelor's in accounting and finance, right? We have
Yep.
the bachelor's in marketing. You also mentioned the bachelor's in international business program,
Yeah.
right? And then the
Yeah.
postgraduate, the MA in dispute resolution. These
And
are the
also we
4
have
courses.
our business studies degree as well.
Okay, the bachelor's in business studies, great. All right, so let
Yeah.
us look at the bachelor's in business studies. Let's see, what is the program about? If you want to also take all of them at a go, I mean the bachelor's, and then we'll
Oh,
go
no, that
to the
makes sense.
MA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'd be happy
what
to speak
what
to
what's
Sandra.
the program about, and what skills and knowledge can they expect to gain? And I mean the career paths that are open for students who decide to run this program.
Very good. Um, First and foremost, we can take the three degree programs, the 3-year programs together, our Bachelor of Arts in Accounting and Finance and Marketing and Business Studies, because the very first year of each program is what we call a common foundation year. Okay? So your students will join the college, they'll do induction, they'll start the semester, and all the students will be doing a common foundation, which means they'll be learning the same principles of business,
Mm-hmm.
regardless if they're doing accounting and finance or business studies or marketing. So if you're, and it's quite typical, if you're kind of finishing high school or secondary school now, and you're not 100% sure, do you want to go down an accounting, marketing, or management pathway?
Mm-hmm.
When you join our programs, the first year is common foundation. You're learning the principles of business in each of the degree programs. And at the end of first year, you can, well, first of all, you specify before you join which degree you'd like to do, but you
Mm-hmm.
do have the option of moving to any of the other programs at the end of year one. So what can happen sometimes, for example, a student who's doing accounting and finance may think, you know what, I'm interested in marketing. So they can easily just swap into the marketing degree for the start of second year and move on like that. Okay, so 3 degree programs, each are honours degrees.
Okay.
The accounting and finance program is very highly thought of because when you graduate with your honours degree in accounting and finance, you're entitled to apply for exemptions from the main global accounting bodies. For example, anyone who's thinking of accounting will be familiar with the ACCA, Chartered Accounting Body. When you
Mm-hmm.
graduate from independent college, you're entitled to up to 9 exemptions from the ACCA exams. So you're very much advanced down the pathway of full ACCA membership. Okay. Similarly, for cost and management, the other type of accountant, a cost and management accountant, they can apply for 8 CIMA exemptions. Also, our degree is recognised by CPA, Certified Public Accounting Ireland,
Okay.
and there's up to 8 exemptions there. And, pleased to share also the Association of International Accountants recognise the program. So really, really strong accounting and finance program. And will I move on to marketing? Would you like to hear a little bit about the marketing degree?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Certainly, yeah. And similarly then, marketing then, I suppose there's 2 types of business students. I remember when I was a business student a number of years ago, the class is quite divided into the accountants for, not versus, but and the marketing sales type people.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone needs a sound knowledge and education on all the principles, okay? So the marketing program then is a very strong classic 3-year honours degree in marketing, and it includes elements of digital marketing, entrepreneurship, marketing data analytics, okay? So the most up-to-date applications of marketing in an international context. The business studies degree then is, I suppose that's a great program then, has an element of everything, okay?
Okay.
And in the final year of your business studies degree program, the student in year 3 can take one of 4 pathways, okay? So for example, you've done year 1, year 2 of your business studies degree, and at the end of year 2, you can decide whether you want to go down an accounting pathway for year 3, IT pathway, marketing, or management.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a very nice options available to the students from our bachelor's honours degree programs. And what's worth noting about these programs, Sandra, as well, is that these are 3-year programs. You graduate with an honours degree within 3 years. Many programs are 4 years, which is good as well. I mean, there's benefits to each style, okay? But that's what the advantage of a 3-year honours degree is, that you're ready to get out, travel, join the workforce, or do whatever you want to do post-graduation. So those are all very significant and good classic business degree programs. Our faculty, our lecturers who teach our programs, they tend to come from a business background. Also, of course, they're academically qualified, as they must be in each area. but there's a very strong, focus and practical focus on business application, real world, how to apply the subjects and the degrees and the skills the students gain over the course of their education.
Mm. Really good. I think I particularly love that, the programs at Independent College, the BA programs are quite flexible,
Yeah.
and, students can, make certain decisions and then switch to their own benefits. And I think that's really great, on top of the fact that it's 3 years. So, I mean, it
Mm.
saves you, an extra 12 months for you to get all
Yeah.
this knowledge. And you also mentioned the exemptions in the ACCA and what's the other one?
The cost management, CMAP, CIMA,
Yeah,
yeah, and
CIMA,
also
which is
CPA Ireland accredited as well.
that's awesome. That's really awesome. So let us look at specific details around the MA in dispute resolution. So it's quite specialized. What does
Yeah.
this program entail, and who would benefit most from enrolling in it?
Right. Well, we might jump onto the MA very shortly, but just before we do that, let's keep our business focus. And do we just mention our 1 year bachelor's honours degree in international
Oh, we
business?
hadn't
Okay.
mentioned that. Okay,
Exactly.
yes.
Because we have our business studies, marketing, accounting, and finance, three
Mm-hmm.
years honours degrees. Now, a student who will have studied business subjects up to what's called a level 7 or a past degree level in their home country, they could have been doing accounting or marketing or management subjects and have
Yeah.
a higher diploma that's equivalent to level 7. They're entitled to join our 1 year program in international business and learn the principles of international business. Things like global marketing, cross-cultural management, e-commerce, global strategy, ethics in international business, contemporary issues in international business. All these areas are explored in our 1 year international business degree, including global HR as well, and operations logistics. Okay, so we also have a 1 year international business degree that is open for enrollment in February, and that again it requires what's called a cognate student, a student who already has studied business degrees in various elements up to past level, and they can come for a 1 year program and graduate with an honours degree in international business. Okay,
Yeah.
and that's a very, I suppose, in the global context now of globalization, and we'll talk about it a bit later. But for example, there's almost 2,000 multinational companies have their European, Middle East, and Africa headquarters in Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are North American, not all of them, but and also companies from across Europe and Asia as well. So there is a big demand for students with business skills and also international business skills to work in industry and business in Ireland, but also to use those skills and maybe transfer back to Nigeria or Ghana or South Africa, where there are also those international companies have headquarters or offices as well. So there's a great cross-fertilization between our opportunities for students who do our degrees in business, but also international business, which is a
Mm-hmm.
1 year.
Yeah, it's really good to see that. Really, really good. We have a question already about the international business program, and
Yeah.
it says here for graduates with the higher national diploma and 2 years verifiable work experience, are they eligible for this 1 year international business program?
That's an excellent question, and that's one that sounds. Each country has a slightly different variation on that. So there is an international framework called NARIC, NARIQ, which everything is judged against. So as long as that 2 year diploma plus the 2 years experience is equivalent to what's called a level 7 or a pass business study,
Mm-hmm.
that student or that prospective student could well be entitled to join the international business. And in order to support that, then our admissions team are available on WhatsApp, they're available on email,
Yeah.
and all the student needs to do just drop a chat WhatsApp or drop an email to admissions at independentcollege.ie to specify the 2 year diploma completed, and we can quickly assess that. And as long as it's level 7 cognate, with business subjects, and the 2 years business experience is taken into account as well, and that's good to be aware of.
Thank you for
And we
answering
can
that.
check that specifically for the students. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to talking about the WhatsApp and the email. I'm going to put it. You shared it earlier, and I'm going to pin it to the comments very shortly. So just before we move to the MA program, what is the tuition fees range like for this BA programs?
Okay, well, I suppose that's one of the good news, I suppose, coming to independent college
Mm-hmm.
is that our tuition fees are very competitive. For the three business subjects we discussed, business studies, accounting and finance and marketing, for February 2025, the fee for a non-new applicant is €7,200.
Okay.
Okay, and that's full year tuition, no registration fee, no other hidden costs. Year one, 7,200. And then in year two and year three, an advantage, I suppose, of coming to independent college is when students come to us and they're domiciled and living and studying in Ireland with an IRP card, we treat them as Irish or EU citizens at that point, or the category. So in years 2 and 3, while they study with the Sandra, they're entitled to our national or domestic EU
Okay.
rates. So, for example, next February 25, then year one fee 7,200 for a full year tuition. In year two, that rate will drop to the rate of the national fee or EU fee, which will be 5,100.
Wow.
Okay, so
5,100.
and year three would be the equivalent. Okay, international fee year one, EU fee year two, and year three.
Mm.
Now, caveat or asterisk, as prices move as they must do, from intake to intake, it'll be the equivalent of what that fee is the following intake or the one after. But year one international and year two, your students who join us would be entitled to the EU rates. Okay, and that's quite a big saving for students because
Yes.
normally fees don't go backwards, they go upwards, and the saving is very significant. And the thing about having low or competitive tuition fees to begin with, and then slightly lower year 2 and 3, the students can allocate the funds they're saving towards cost of living, towards accommodation, towards travel, other expenses. Okay, and that's something we recommend strongly,
Yeah.
that any savings in fees versus going to UK or Australia or Canada, where the fees may be 2-3 times higher, you allocate that money then to a good education, honours degree, business focus, and then the savings can be allocated towards your cost of living
Yeah.
here. Okay.
So it's quality education at affordable fees. That's what we experience at independent college, which is
Yeah.
really, really good. Which is
Yes.
really good.
Yeah.
So hi everyone who has just joined us. Please, we've been speaking with Owen Keating, and he's an expert at Independent College. So he's here to tell us all we need to know about some of the programs open for February 2025 admissions. So if you're just joining us, you're very welcome. Please join the conversation, listen in, and prepare your questions. Owen will be more than excited to provide insights into any of the programs that you're interested in. So we're looking at the Bachelors of Arts in Accounting and Finance, the BA in Marketing, the BA in Business Studies, the BA in International Business program, and of course, the postgraduate program in Dispute Resolution, that is the MADR. The
Yeah.
Masters of Arts in Dispute Resolution. So these are the programs that we're looking at right now.
Mhm.
Of course, Independent College has other programs, so feel free to also ask him about them. But we're specifically looking at these programs that are open, that are open for applications right now, and for the February 2025 admissions. Okay, so please leave your questions in the question box, and we're going to treat each of them as we get to them. So so back to you, Owen. What the last program on our list would be the MA in dispute resolution. So what is this program about? Who's this program for? What kind of students are you looking to absorb into this program, and what is the future like for them upon graduation?
Okay. Well, our Master of Arts in Dispute Resolution is a program we're very proud of. It's essentially unique to independent college, and it's a program that we've built and developed over the years. So it's unique and innovative in terms of it's an interdisciplinary program.
Yeah.
Okay, you can join this master's program from a number of backgrounds, and it provides students with the academic knowledge and the practical skills to resolve disputes between parties in a non-adversarial manner.
Okay.
Okay, so consider, if you will, dispute in business, commercial dispute, international business. Everyone wants to avoid litigation. It's expensive, it's costly. There is a growing and important field of management, business, HR, and law, which is dispute resolution. So this Master of Arts in Dispute Resolution teaches the students over 3 semesters the practical skills and abilities to resolve disputes in a non-adversarial manner, in a professional manner, using the latest and updated skills across management, HR, sociology, international relations, business management, organizational development.
Okay.
So it's a very broad church, and it's available to students who have already an honours bachelor's degree or a level 8 degree, and they can join us for a Master's of Arts in Dispute Resolution with an existing honours degree plus IELTS English language level 6.5. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for telling us more about the program. And I actually think it's a great program because it's just gives insights into, like you said, how to, resolve conflicts and how to handle, maybe frictions, things like that. I think it would be a great program for people in the, like, the human resource department, like you said, the
Yeah,
sociology as well.
it's
Yeah.
specifically strong. Yeah, HR is an important element, as in management in general. Also, general negotiation, mediation in particular,
Mm-hmm.
arbitration, and negotiation. All of these areas are explored in detail. And in fact, through the 3 semesters, the students will learn how to mediate in difficult and complex negotiations, and that would include elements of international discussion or restorative justice. And over the last number of years, we've had a number of students from Africa as well who have found it very master's degree to extremely relevant and beneficial to resolve areas of conflict, be it commercial or local. So yeah, it's a very strong, interdisciplinary, innovative program. It's a 1 year, or it's technically 1 year, but 3 semesters, I suppose, is a more accurate description. 2 the semesters of thought, and the 3rd semester is dissertation.
All
Okay,
right. Okay.
that is also that is available.
We have a couple of questions here, about this program, some of the programs, and I'll just try and take them one after the other. So, yeah, what is the age limit to join a master's program in the college? And can one join with a computing bachelor's degree? So, so yeah. So, Owen, I think this person wants to know, like, is there an age limit to, run a master's degree program at independent college, and perhaps what programs would be open for her or for him, since he or she has like a bachelor's degree in computing science.
Okay, well, that's an excellent question. And the first answer is that there is no age limit per se
Okay.
for a student to come and join. The students could be advanced in terms of having been working, have graduated from high school, or have been working and
Mm-hmm.
gaining different experiences. So we welcome mature students because that's great for the demographic and the mix of the student base. So we wouldn't limit it by age. However, I would say a student who has left high school or full education a number of years ago, when they're in the process of their visa application process, they would need to be very rigorous in terms of listing and identifying and sharing their experiences since their graduation from college or high school
Okay.
for that process business, okay? If there's a big gap in full-time education and then a desire to come and do a master's or degree with us, it's not advisable. As long as the student will have an updated academic and business CV or detailing what they've been doing, that's quite advisable. So there isn't any strict age limit in that case. The student should list what they've been doing since they finished education previously. And for example, yes, a student who has an honours degree in computer studies, that degree would regard as having elements of business in there, elements of IT, specialised. The student, if they wanted to move then into a business direction or in the different direction that would involve dispute resolution, we would absolutely consider them for the programme. When any student wants to join a master's programme, they have to share a letter of intent or a letter of motivation. So it's that genuine motivation as to why they want to do the master's program. Then they explain the reasoning and their desire to do the program, and that is considered during the application process. So yes, it would be very typical for students from an IT, HR, management, legal, even medical, counselling, backgrounds, all are considered for this because it's a multidisciplinary program.
All right. We have another question here, and it talks about, well, it actually talks about the next questions, a couple of questions we're going to ask you. So what is the job prosperity of such course in Ireland in case students want to explore stay back option? I will ask Owen to just hold on responding to this question because we have, we also want to talk about that in a wholesome discussion, just so that we don't go back and forth with the response. We have another question around tuition. We already discussed tuition, Salem. You can also go to the independent college's website to see the full breakdown of the fees. But we didn't talk about the tuition for the MA in dispute resolution. Yeah.
That's a very good point, actually, yeah. And actually, we'll just recap on the international business degree, okay? So for February 2025, to join your international business degree, the international rate is €8,000, okay? And then for the Masters of Arts in Dispute Resolution, the non-EU international fee is €9,200, okay?
All right. Okay, so we're going to look at the program structure, the teaching style, and the application process. And I'm going to let my colleague, handle that category.
Very good.
I'm
So
totally there.
to actually, you can ask him. She might be muted.
Hi, Owen. Hi, Sandra. Can you hear me?
Yes. Loud and
Hello,
clear.
how are you?
I'm all right. Thank you.
Good.
So I want to ask what the teaching style and structure of these programs are like, and if there are like any practical components like internships or hands-on projects that students can look forward to.
Okay, very good. Yeah, that's an excellent question. Also, the education style, or first and foremost, our faculty, our staff, are glad to say, they're of the highest quality, and many of them have a business background themselves. So they'll be sharing principles across business and also dispute resolution from a factual or experiential background. And of course, they're academically qualified also. And the program style across the undergraduate degrees is the imparting of information, but developing the students to resolve and to learn and to gain knowledge driven by their abilities and their desires in the area. And the courses are very specific in terms of there's applied projects in each of our undergraduate degrees. Okay, and it's the projects and the application of the projects guided by the faculty is where a lot of the practical benefit of the education comes from. Okay, so project-based, learning-based, practical, innovative is quite an important element of that program structure.
Right.
Suppose what to add to that? Yeah, that covers that area, I believe.
Okay. So, like, how many? What are the class sizes? Would you say it's a lot of people in one class, or like 5 to 10, 20 people?
Okay, that can vary from subject to subject to program to program. We're a relatively small college or institute versus the larger operators. So in total, we've about 1,000 students across our different programs. So, but our intake then, when the students join, the class sizes can range depending on the subject, 20 to 30 or thereabouts, on average. Some of the common subjects might have a larger number, and we have some larger lecture halls for that. But typically, no, there's a good mix in terms of scale and size. And a benefit of that, actually, in terms of scale, is the pastoral support or the care we provide to the students. We have a really excellent learning support manager and student support manager on site. And by being, if you're one student of 25,000 students, it's like being one person in a large town. If you're one of a smaller number, you get to know your learning support manager, your student services manager, more one-to-one basis. And that's very beneficial, actually, when students are traveling from abroad to Ireland. We have an excellent pastoral care and student support services that over certainly the induction period is very important initially, but over the 1 year or the 3 years of their education at the college, they do get to know the support staff very well, and that those numbers are beneficial for that reason.
Okay. So, would you say this support extends to finding internships and job placements after or during the program?
That's an extremely important element of well, the whole point really of doing or gaining an international degree or a degree in any discipline, but I suppose in business specifically, it's very focused on post-graduation employment opportunities. And our learning support team, our student support team do focus on that area specifically. And how would they do that? All the way through from when the student joins the college day one. There is support in terms of CV development, building a resume, building LinkedIn profiles, being professional. What are the key things to do in that area in terms of business networking? But also through each year of the program, our student support team will invite companies into the college. For example, we had a great talk from PwC recently, and they spoke to our students about graduation opportunities with PwC, one of the largest consultancy companies in the world. And it's interesting to take them as an example. PwC in Ireland every year would employ up to 400 graduates in their different offices around the country. So PwC then spoke to our students about the process and how that process works, and that's a very beneficial interaction. So it's the role of our student support, learning support teams to point the students in the right direction. And our view on the employment then is, we empower the student to develop in that area, and it's up to the student then to take that opportunity, and we'll support them all the way. PwC is a good example. Deloitte is another example of a large organisation that would talk to our students about employment opportunities. Vodafone Ireland is one of the biggest telecom networks in Ireland. They would provide SIM card access to international students when they come here first, and beneficial rates to get them up and running with their phones and that type of thing. So yeah, the intersection between business and the students is very important, and our learning support and student support team facilitate that.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that, because aside academics, I think support is one of the most important things that students consider when they are moving. Yeah,
they do. And each student has a different story, and each student has a different objective. So, what we encourage them to do is identify, where they want, the area they want to move to, or they want to direction they want to move in, and our team can help them and support them and facilitate them. and just really, turbo boost that objective and point them in the right direction.
All right. Thank you, Owen. I have one last question before I hand back to Sandra. That is, what are the requirements for these programs?
Okay, well, our requirements are, I suppose, coming from Ireland within the EU. I suppose something I haven't mentioned yet, and maybe we'll get to with Sandra, we're based in the EU, and we're not the largest country in the EU, but we've one of the biggest, relatively speaking, one of the biggest economies based on a lot to do with foreign direct investment. But we are the largest English-speaking country within the European Union, within the 27 countries. So when students are coming from, I suppose, across Africa, for the purposes of this discussion, the ability to come to Ireland and gain an education in English in an English-speaking country is massively beneficial to the students in terms of settling in terms of their ability to hit the ground running. So that's an important one to note. In terms of eligibility then, to join our undergraduate degrees, that is focused on high school graduation, okay, plus IELTS English Language 6 or equivalent. Those are the basic important parameters. To join our international business, you have to have level 7 or a pass level business qualification. And for our master's program, it's an honours degree, undergraduate degree, plus the equivalent IELTS English Language 6.5. Now, all of those can be checked, double-checked, clarified with our admissions team as well, who can chat on WhatsApp every day, are available on email as well. And on our website, independentcollege.ie, which you'll be pinning to this discussion during and after the discussion, there is a lot of information there under the prospective students page. You can go in there and get a lot of information about eligibility, visa application, general information, and also the course pages themselves. Make sure the students, if you're looking at our programs, go in and look at the modules that you'll be studying. Make sure you're comfortable with the modules and with the information you'll be receiving. So our admissions team can support and advise all the students individually on their eligibility requirements. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Tochi, and thank you, Owen, for that information. Like, it's really good to see that the application process is pretty simplified. The teaching style at independent colleges, it's a small class size. This means that all the students have, easy access to the lecturers and, everything about the program. It's really good to see that. We have been having a lot of questions around what is the international student community like. I've got a couple of questions here around that. I hope I haven't missed it. In order not
Well,
to,
Ireland is a very interesting
they want
case
to
in terms
know.
of,
Sorry, Owen.
yeah.
They want to know, like, someone here wants to know how is the international exposure at independent college like? How many nationalities are there? This person is asking very specific questions, so maybe we'll just dive into it. So for international students, considering independent college, what kind of support services are available? Let us add this question to this other one around what's the international student community like.
Yeah, well, let's start with the international student community bit, I guess, yeah?
Okay.
And yeah, I suppose you could regard the mix of students in the college a little bit like the United Nations. There is a very wide cross-section of students.
Okay.
There's well over 30 different nationalities represented. And there are students from Latin America, from Brazil, from Mexico, Chile, from across Latin America. We have students from Africa, a growing cohort of students from Africa, and we're encouraging more to join. This last intake in September just started. We have students from Nigeria, Kenya, Bangladesh, Ethiopia, for example, and we're actually encouraging more. We have students from South Asia, from Pakistan, from Sri Lanka. So it's a very broad demographic and mixture of nationalities, which is what we want and which is beneficial for our students as well. in a globalized world, in an international world, the ability to meet and learn about other cultures and learn together is an excellent testament to the college, I guess, and to education, or to higher education in Ireland generally. In terms of international communities in Ireland, there is a large and growing, vibrant African communities, not just West Africa and East Africa, but also a growing community from South Africa and other areas. And for example, just recently, there was International Day just outside Dublin for the Kenyan community. So, and we at the college went along and we met loads of people celebrating Kenya and the culture and the history of Kenya, with all people who've travelled to live here and study here from Kenya, for example. So that's always a very nice thing to be able to do, support that. And that internationalisation then, at the last census in Ireland, I think the population, you could take a number of somewhere around 5 million people, 5.5 million people, and the number of international people now is growing to is well over 15% and heading towards 20%, okay? So then 1 in 5 people here then is international. So Ireland is a very welcoming, open environment for that reason. We're fortunate that our unemployment rate is very low. It's approximately 4%. So an economist will tell you structurally that would indicate there is no unemployment. So there's a very high demand for international students to come, graduate and support the economy and businesses. They look for students with good graduate or good degree qualifications who can support business here and support their needs. So it's very vibrant for that reason. And the college is in the centre of the city. I'm speaking today from a sub office very nearby. But if I look out one window, I'm looking at Google, and I look out the other window, I'm looking at Accenture, okay? These massive companies. And when I walk up and down the road here, I'm hearing, at lunchtime I go for a walk, everyone's speaking a different language. There's a common language of English, but it's like so international. And that's a very powerful thing in terms of learning, in terms of settling in terms of growth. And those are all very positive elements of higher education in Ireland.
Yeah, I really love to know that there's a healthy mix of, international students, across the campus. So that's really, really good. That's really good. So let's look at the international student support services at Independent College. What is it like? How are the students supported to transition smoothly into college life in Ireland?
Yeah, and that's a very important element. So the first and foremost thing about Ireland in general is that we're ranked as number 2 in the International Peace Index, okay? So globally. So take all the countries in the world, and if we look at the 2024 Global Peace Index, Ireland is now ranked as the second safest, most democratic culture or economy or place to live in the world. So then in terms of support for international, so that's important if you're traveling halfway across the world to work or to study and to live. You have that kind of confidence. And in terms of supporting the students then as they come to study at Independent College, our student support team, our admissions team are available from the outset in terms of advising how to go about short-term accommodation. They will provide details in terms of, we share links and information in terms of cost of living, in terms of cultural, all of that is covered. But then most importantly, when the student comes here, they're welcome with open arms, of course, but there's a very important induction process. The students are briefed by our learning support, student support team, by our faculty, by our lecturers, will support them as they arrive and get the help in that settling in process. And then all the way through, either for the 1-year degree or the 3-year programs, then the pastoral care is ongoing. There is the ability to catch up with student support, weekly sessions in specific areas of academic learning for somebody doing a master's program, specific research information, how to research for a master's program. All of this support is ongoing. as well as the education and the academic supports, as well as the career and CV and supports. And also there's a very heightened and important focus on wellness, the welfare of the student. And there's an open door policy in terms of if anyone has any issue or if they're concerned about anything, that's we're available to support on all of that. And also related to that area, I suppose, a very important area, if any students with special needs or certain areas of concern, they just simply flag that to our admissions team in advance, and they can in turn prepare our student support team to connect and devise the best strategies in those areas. So yeah, so the settling in or that process commences really when you start the application process and start connecting with the admissions team, and grows into the induction process, but then grows into a two-way process with the student and our student support team, and to a certain extent the faculty then all the way through their time at the college. Because our objective really is for the students, we want them to settle, to be content and have a rewarding experience. And the best thing that we can see is a student graduating with an honours programme and moving on somewhere back to their home country, staying here on a stay back visa, or going on to the next challenge, fulfilled, happy with a globally accredited award. And that's what we want to see happen to students.
All right. Thank you so much, Owen, for that. It's really good to see how the international office, the admissions office at Independent College is really supporting students, especially students from outside the EU to settle in, to start life in Ireland, to kick off studies. So it's really, really good. And I would like to say well done to you. Well done to the entire team that is, really focused on ensuring that the students have like a wholesome experience throughout their study journey at Independent College. So thank you for that. We have a couple of questions here, and please, if you would like to ask Owen any questions, this is a very good time. In order for us not to miss your questions, I would like to advise that you please put the questions in the question box, and so that it will be very easy for me to pick them. We have a question here around accommodation. Okay, yeah. Oh, no. It's not on accommodation, but he's asking, are there any plans of probably kicking off science faculties at Independent College? Are there any plans like that?
Your science is a really STEM subjects are very important globally and in Ireland across higher education. Our focus, I suppose, in the first instance is business, and then with a related focus on law as how that relates to dispute resolution. So at this point in time, we're probably not we do not have a science offering, and there are a number of great colleges in Ireland do have strong science offerings, and we would be happy to recommend on that side.
All right. So we received the question earlier, but I can't find that question now around the post-study work opportunities, in Ireland. So what is it like for graduates of Independent College? What do you have to say about that?
No, and that's something that's very important as well, because that's the whole the point of it. I suppose there's two elements to that. When a student is studying, while a student is studying with us, they are entitled to work part-time during their studies, up to 20 hours a week. And then during their holiday period, their vacation time, they can work up to 40 hours a week. That's during their studies, okay? That's their entitlement when they have their study visa.
Okay.
Now, and related to that, actually, the minimum wage in Ireland was increased, I think, to €12.70 per hour a little bit earlier this year, so that there is a good, strong minimum wage for part-time work. And that's important for students who wish to supplement their income. But I suppose key and most important of all in the long run is post-graduation employment. So students who graduate from our honours degree programs, our undergraduate programs, are entitled to work and remain in the country for 1 year and work full-time in business or in their profession they wish to join. And those students who graduate from our master's program are entitled to work for 2 years in Ireland. Okay, so that's that ability to stay back, it's referred to, is extremely important. And as at that point, the graduates are working, they can work anywhere, but I suppose a lot of them are working with the large multinational companies. And having gained experience, many may return home, many may go on somewhere else, but there also is a logical pathway that when working with the company, there is potential for sponsorship long term, and that's something that is a possibility as well as a pathway into the future. But when you join for the period you're at the college with your student visa, part-time and holiday work entitlements, post-graduation, undergraduation, 1 year, master students, 2 years. So it's an extremely good, pathway process in those terms.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for reiterating that. The opportunities studying in Ireland are endless. There's a lot to gain, and it's a great return on investment for anyone at all who is thinking about furthering their studies abroad. Ireland should be your primary choice. Owen, thank you so much for joining us in this conversation. It's been awesome learning about all the programs that are open for applications at the moment. And not just to, recap a little bit, if you're just joined us, because I see some people just joined us, we've been looking at about 4 to 5 great programs. We have the Bachelors in Business Studies, the Bachelors in Accounting and Finance, the Bachelors in International Business, yes, and I think the bachelor's in marketing as well. And we finally looked at the postgraduate degree program, which is the MA in dispute resolution. These are fantastic programs open for applications at the moment at Independent College, and they will be kicking off by February 2025. What is the deadline for applications at the moment for this program?
That is a great question, and our admissions team have all that prepared. So for a prior visa required student, which is the majority of the students, prospective students watching here, the suggested application deadline would be 6th of December. Okay. So just declining that. Sorry, it's call. The application process, the deadline is 6th of December. The final confirmation of enrollment would be issued around 20th of December. And then new student orientation will be 10th to the 14th of February. And classes would begin 17th of February 2025. And then typically there's about a 2-week grace period for students to join that. So that brings it right up to end of February, start of March. Okay? So that date is important, 6th of December. And the other thing I point out in terms of application is that the visa application process, which we don't handle, of course, that's with Department of Justice and all of that, that can be an 8-week process. So the earlier the application, the better. Okay, so you need to build that in terms of, we can accept a student with a confirmation of enrollment, then they must apply for their visa, and that's an important thing. So but the deadline for that reason then will be up to about the 6th of December. And I'd encourage early application from now on, really, because for a number of reasons, and one is related to the ability to get the visa processed and get all that boxed off. But the other thing is we have up to 100 scholarship places available for February 2025. So a student who applies now and gets the process up and running, they could save 720 euros in terms of their undergraduate. They could save 800 euros on international business, and they could save 920, almost 1,000 euros off the masters. Okay, so those scholarship opportunities are the first across the 5 programs, the first 20 students in each. So that's 100 places going.
Wow.
So I'd strongly encourage, if you're thinking about it, independentcollege.ie. There, you can start the process. There's an applications portal there, and then connect with our admissions team. You have the WhatsApp number there. You have the admissions email, and they're so knowledgeable. They'll advise you on anything you need on that front.
Yes.
Okay, so don't forget those scholarship opportunities are it's quite beneficial because imagine saving that much money if you're
Yeah.
saving 720 euros. I mean, that's effectively your flight to Ireland, isn't it? A return flight, I would think, quite possibly.
Absolutely. Thank you for pointing that out, Owen. So I hope you all heard him. There are discount opportunities going on right now. If you apply early, the first 20 students, yes,
Yep.
for each of these programs, and that is
Right.
about 100 spots. So please, if you want to read up more about these programs, you can log on to the school's website, which is www.independentcollege.ie. If you have specific questions, or you need further support around your applications, you can WhatsApp the admissions number, which is I already pinned it there, +353 8920 37699, or you can send an email to admissions@independentcollege.ie. Please do not miss this chance, this really awesome opportunity for you to kickstart, a very important part of your life at Independent College. Awesome school, very globally recognized. All of the degrees are, acknowledged worldwide. So it's a good choice. Thank you so much, Owen. I know this is a busy period for you. Thank you for making our time to join I and Tochi on this conversation. And I'm sure that students who are interested will reach out shortly. And if you have more questions
Great.
for
Yeah.
Owen,
Yeah.
please feel free to also send him an email at admissions, at independentcollege.ie. He'll be more than happy to answer your questions. That right now we have to let Owen go because I know he has other things packed, for his days. So Owen, before we let you go, any
Yeah.
final words for prospective students who are considering sending in an application shortly?
Okay. Well, I suppose, as I said, just make sure you do that so you can avail of the scholarship opportunities, and also it'll be the earlier start the process, the better chance of success with the visa application process. I suppose just Africa specific, my colleague Jennifer, who's the head of admissions, will be traveling to Kenya in shortly, and will
Okay.
be involved in a lot of education and Ireland events in that area. I've been fortunate to visit Nigeria and Ghana a number of times and meet you, Sandra, and the team there, and loads of great
We look forward to having
prospective
you.
students. So I'd hope to get back again. Our members of our team will try and get there, on the ground as well to meet people individually. But in the meantime, yeah, we're available. Loads of great information on the website. Follow our social media channels, the Instagram here, but follow on. Just like us there or follow us there, because any scholarship opportunities, new programs, all of that will all be amplified on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and even a bit of Twitter. Okay, and I suppose that's it really. What did we say? The three things were, global accreditation, competitive tuition fees, and great post graduation employment opportunities. So
Absolutely.
enrollment's open, great programs available, Education Ireland supported college where a warm welcome awaits.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Owen. When is the team going to Kenya again?
That's a brilliant question, actually, and let me think about that. I think it's start of
November.
November. Okay,
Okay.
we talked to Nick about that. Yeah, and there's a number of events being organised in the region, and those are really beneficial to meet the higher education institutes from across Ireland, and
Okay.
the ability to meet the people directly, the experts, to brief students is so beneficial.
All right. So for to everyone listening, a very good way to stay updated with independent colleges activities is to follow them on the social media platform. They have an IG page, which is Independent College at Independent College. So follow them there, and you can stay updated with every of their international activities across, the sub-Saharan Africa region. So yeah, thank you so much, Owen. We have to really let you go now, because you have exceeded the time with us, and I know that you must have other meetings, and other
Yeah,
things
yeah.
that you want to finish up with. So we hope that you have a great day, and we look forward to having you in Nigeria, and
and Kenya and South Africa. If so, whenever you
Absolutely,
come
yeah.
in, please say
Thanks so
hello.
much for all your support. Mike Tucci, thanks a million,
All
guys.
right.
Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a
Have a great
good
time.
one.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye. Cheerio.
Bye.
Bye bye.
So thank you everyone who has joined us. We hope you enjoyed the session. If you have more questions for Owen and or the admissions team, please feel free to send the WhatsApp. I already pinned it there. +353 8920376699, or you can send an email to admissions@independentcollege.ie. You can also visit the school's website and just dig up more information about the program that you're interested in. If you have specific questions for us, please, you can send me an email at info@educationinireland.africa. We'll be more than happy to provide you with more information, adequate support, and anything you need to kickstart your journey in Ireland. Join us on Thursday for another insightful session, and we're going to be hosting Dublin Business School. They have a lot of programs, open for applications at the moment, and for January admissions, February, and I think March as well. They even have conversion programs into data analytics and digital marketing as well. So please don't miss it. Set your reminders. We meet again on Thursday at 12 p.m. Yeah. So Tochi, do you have anything to say to the people before we call it a day?
Join us on Thursday for another session.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great time. Bye.